Church Council members, thank you so much for what you have done for Grace during these difficult times. My name is Ruth Burge, and I am the membership chair of the Outreach Committee for the Strategic Plan. The staff person for that, of course, is Pastor Greg. We started 2020 with some pretty lofty goals. In fact, there were 7 of them, and I have to read them to you, and I apologize for that. We were going to increase advertising and marketing, conduct demographic studies for targeted outreach, collaboration to establish a generational cause for millennials and younger to identify with, a culture of evangelism within Grace, conduct an informative, inspirational, and invitational mission festival, and promote Servant Saturday within and beyond Grace. Pretty lofty goals. Then March the 13th happened, and we all know what went from there. What the Outreach Committee has accomplished is quite a bit different than those above, but we have been most helpful with the virtual growth. First of all, we've had a logo update, and I want to show you that. That's what Anthony Acosta has done for us. So we've got a brand new logo, which is absolutely wonderful. We have also revised, updated our website. Joe Lee has worked with a contractor called Pro Media Fire, and we actually went live with that on October the 26th, or the 28th, sorry. Video ministry, both worship and social media, has been increasing with programs for children, preschool, and adults. The front yard sign is wonderful. It tells the banner tells everybody that we are online and they can join us for worship. Facebook advertising for Sunday worship service has been ongoing. We also have a Hispanic outreach ministry with the help, of course, of Pastor Alfredo. We are trying to find a local contact for iHeartRadio for the Spanish language. Unfortunately, I've been very unsuccessful in this endeavor. I've had 3 different representatives, and none of them have actually given me a price yet, so maybe later. That's something we really should be trying to do. Social media outreach with the help from Pro Media Fire for effective use of not only Facebook and YouTube, but also Instagram. Contract includes a Christmas media campaign, which will begin later in November, and Spanish language weekly devotion by Pastor Alfredo, and weekly English language Vespers by Pastor Ken and Pastor Greg. Obviously, we have new video and streaming equipment, as you can see. We've hired Dave Carver as our producer director for video and streaming ministry. Hispanic community outreach with El Centro, True Ridge, Hola Carolina, and Resista Henderson. I believe that's correct. Grace is the location for Friday fresh food distribution for the Hispanic families called Abundancia, and I think I pronounced that correctly too. A number of online worship and programs have been emerging, and our work will continue to provide access to Grace virtually as the pandemic continues and our congregation protects themselves. We again thank you for all that you have done, and let us know what we can do in outreach to continue making this a very successful 2020.
Good morning. My name is Joy Kiefer. I'm the champion of the Goals Committee concerning worship. Our vision for our committee is for Grace to be a place where God is seen, love is felt, and lives are changed for people of all backgrounds. Our first goal was the worship services, to make necessary adjustments to worship services offered and enhance worship styles to better support how welcoming our assembly serves our community. One of the things that we had planned for this and had been fervently working on was a survey of the congregation to see how the congregation was feeling about what we're doing now. We wanted to determine styles and schedules of worship services to be offered, explore benefits and desires of non-Sunday worship services, and to assess an educational hour, a Sunday school hour. As you know, we had just gotten started on this good and just about had our survey in print when we shut down for the epidemic, for the panic, you know what I mean, the COVID-19. We decided that it really wasn't a good time to survey, that our lives had kind of been turned upside down, and we were struggling to, as a church, to just stay together. So we decided that it really wasn't a good time to work on these things. But in all of this that came out of this, we opened a whole new avenue that possibly would have never come about, and that was live streaming. We had always wondered, you know, about having additional services at different times of the week so that all of our people could worship. Well, live streaming did that for us because you can watch it on and off, you know, at your convenience, when your time is right, when you're off from work, when your family, you know, can make it fit into their schedule. We also had looked at other times for services. You know, did we need midweek services? Did we need, you know, morning services, whatever? We have been able to do devotions midweek. We have been able to do other things, live streaming, and live streaming really opens up a lot of avenues to us. Hopefully, even when we are able to come back into the church again, we'll be able to continue our live streaming and reach a lot more people who can't be with us on Sunday morning. As you can see, we're really at a standstill until we can get back together. As far as a feasibility, we discovered we were going to research the feasibility of a different location, you know, a satellite church. A lot of that depends on funding and feasibility, et cetera, and for the time being, probably our live streaming helps us along those lines. We hopefully by the middle of even the spring, we'll be able to start working on this again and be together again. I would advise all of you at Grace to take advantage of our wonderful team that has been working on the live streaming. It has kept us alive, it has kept us together. And hopefully the future is coming soon. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Christine Smith. I'm here to talk to you about our strategic plan with Grace Lutheran Church, specifically Goal 3, and the progress my team and I have made toward it. My team is Tom Koschiski, Pastor Ken Langsdorf, Mandy Gibson, and Jill Wingard. Goal 3 of the strategic plan says that we will increase by 10% the participants in faith-building activities by December 2021. We have 3 objectives. Objective 1 was to find out the number of activities and the number of participants who are involved, so we set out to investigate. Objective 2 was to increase the awareness of these activities via temple talks, grace finds, social media. In other words, we needed to fortify our saints. Objective 3 was to plan for 4 or more cross-generational activities per year, focusing on faith formation, serving, fellowship, and traditions. So for Objective 1, we made a list of all the activities as best we could going on at Grace. It's a very fluid list. We counted 35 ongoing activities with over 600 participants. Now, some of those participants could be the same people. For example, I sing in the choir, I play in the band, I attend disciple class, I pray every Tuesday night with the prayer group, etc. So I'm actually counted several times in that 600. Of those 35 ongoing activities, many of which are still active through Zoom or with social distancing, we looked at the ones which were more faith formation or more faith expression. Faith formation means that you attend this activity with the goal of deepening your understanding of the Bible and building your relationship with God. Faith expression means that you attend this activity to live out your faith. Of course, all activities may be both. However, most activities are more heavily weighted toward formation or expression. Out of the 35 established activities, 23 of them are geared more toward faith formation. For Objective 2, we plan to capture pictures of the activities as they were occurring and post them on various social media, plus make temple talks. But the pandemic precluded our group meetings and those plans. For Objective 3, we documented some cross-generational activities, but most of them have been put on hold due to the pandemic, such as the Oasis series, the Lenten services, Lenten studies. Now, we've done those, but some of the plans that we had were kind of put on hold. We've also done the Super Bowl Family Caring Service Project, Dia de los Muertos, and the Chocobration. We had an idea to use technology and combine the 11:15 service with a Hispanic service once a month. We were calling it the Holy Experiment. Well, with the pandemic, that evolved into so much more, as you know. Since March 15th, we have lived the saying, the church is not a building, but a body of people. Thanks.
Hi, I'm here to speak to you about the strategic goal number 5, the master plan. The task was to develop a master plan for Grace site and facilities by the end of this year. The team is made up of a number of different members of the Grace congregation. Our first objective is to conduct a needs assessment for all the current facilities and develop a maintenance and funding plan. An update on that, we have talked to most of the ministry leaders and leaders of classes and studies. That one area that they would like to see is a bigger classroom, like the room 221. Our suggestion from the group is that we build 2 of those. One that the roof can also hold solar panels. We will also put together a funding plan by the middle of next year. Objective number 2 is to develop a list of facilities needed and funding plan to go with those to support the future ministry of Grace that can include solar energy, a garage maintenance building, youth program space, and flexibility to meet future needs. That's broken down into 4 different areas. The first is develop a rendering and preliminary cost for a garage maintenance building that could include bus parking, equipment storage, and solar panels on the roof. The initial rendering is in place. We've reached out to a few architects to get some estimates. The next piece is to study the current facilities are adequate to support the youth ministry programs and if new construction is needed. We feel that at this time facilities are adequate to support the youth programs that we have going on here at Grace. The third area is site layout plan to include current facilities and future anticipated needs with flexibility to meet those needs not yet anticipated. Again, we have reached out to a few architects to help with this process. We're still waiting on setting up those meetings. And the fourth area is to plan fund capital construction of those improvements identified through the completion of objectives 2 and 3. We've added Lita Johnson to our committee to help us with this part. She has great ideas on potential funding opportunities. A big hurdle in this one is the current capital debt, which hopefully will be paid off by the end of next year. Objective number 3 of the master plan group was develop a plan to expand the property by purchasing the 1.5 acres that we have landlocked on the far east end of our property. We have reached out to the current owners of the property to find out their intentions on the property since a realtor representing them had called us back in early January. At this time, they were only interested in leasing the property and not giving us a dollar figure to do so. We did ask them that they would give us right of first refusal if they decide to sell. That is the update from the master plan strategic goal team.
Hi, I'm Jill Wingard, the Director of Family Ministry for Grace Lutheran Church, and I am so thankful to be here this morning to let you know what I've been doing the last 9 months. Obviously, my job has changed since COVID, but my job is faith formation for 5th grade on down, as well as working with families and working with our OWLs, our older, wiser Lutherans. Obviously, we have not met. Our OWLs group has not met since February, and I definitely have missed seeing and getting to spend time with them. But I do send a weekly email just to let them know what's going on in my world, and I'm always happy to hear back from them. As far as the kids are concerned, since March, I've been sending weekly Sunday school lessons to their families in a weekly email, as well as we met on Zoom in the spring so that we could stay connected. In the fall, we changed over, and I had those kids move, for the most part, into study buddies, where they are meeting one-on-one with an adult mentor. And that time has been incredible. I get to see them as the observer, but it's great. They read books to each other, they do devotionals, they play chess online. And it's just really an amazing ministry that's been able to continue even in a virtual format. I also have continued Sunday school, but I've changed it up a little bit. I do send a weekly lesson out to parents with videos, but I also have been videoing myself teaching some of the lessons, and I put those up on YouTube. So there is a playlist of upper elementary Sunday school lessons on YouTube through the Grace channel. On YouTube also, we have preschool Bible stories as well as preschool story time. And I do recommend checking those out. I've had some adults tell me they've been watching my Sunday school lessons, which makes me a little nervous, but I hope you enjoy them. We've also continued trying to have a monthly family outing. We've met at the park, we met here and did chalk last Sunday, and those times have been really special to be able to see the kids and their families and to get together in that way. So Ann and I will continue to try to expand this ministry. We'll try to continue to stay in touch. We are open to suggestions, or at least I definitely am open to suggestions. So please let me know if there's anything that I can do to continue to help you with your child's faith formation. I do look forward to a time soon where we're going to meet and give our third graders their Bibles. And that's going to be a special time. We also got to do First Communion last spring and summer. It was a little different, but we got it done. And so thank you for supporting family ministry, and I look forward to continuing to do this ministry for Grace. Have a great day.
This year, Grace Youth Ministry is described in one word: adaptation. Our youth began meeting on Zoom on March 18th when the quarantine for COVID-19 pandemic began. We continued to meet weekly on Zoom until July, when we then safely implemented ways to meet in person, small groups with masks, and physical distancing.
This fall, we adapted confirmation ministry to meet in person twice a month outside under the portico. The NC Synod has also added monthly Zoom confirmation classes for our group. High school youth meetings moved to Monday evenings, since many of our students are now employed on the weekends. This group meets in person one week and online with a candle time Zoom devotion the opposite week.
Our youth continue to serve in leadership roles by assisting with live stream worship and drive-up communion. Their households have also participated in and supported monthly family ministry activities outside.
Grace Youth adapt, reform, and continue to be the church today. The ELCA Youth Gathering, which was scheduled for this coming 2021 summer in Minneapolis, Minnesota, has been moved to summer 2022. The theme for the gathering is Boundless, God Beyond Measure.
We end this boundless prayer from the ELCA Youth Gathering. We are bound by our sin, by the expectations of others, by poverty, by isms that try to define us, and by so much more. In life that often feels as if it has young people in a suffocating grip, we want them to imagine the boundlessness of God, all offered from a gracious and loving God who knows and adores them, all so abundant and endless it cannot be measured. Thanks be to God. Amen.